In this lesson, we're going to take a look at the different web apps that we have available in Office 365 online. So let's jump in and take a look at some of the different options that we have. So when I talk about web apps, I'm talking about some of the different options that we have here on our main page, and specifically, it's Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So again, in the kind of the preview video or the introduction video to Office 365, we talked a little bit about, we have Office 2016 or the whatever the current version of Office is when you're watching this video, installed on your computer to work. So if I'm writing lesson plans, I don't necessarily come to my and then to Office 365 and then to Word Online and work on a document here. That's just too many steps for me. I'll just open up Word and work on my document and save it to my computer, preferably OneDrive, and that's how I work. But the ability for our students, especially a lot of our students in our Title I schools, to have access to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint without having to do the installation really helps them be productive wherever they happen to be. These Word apps, or Office apps, I should say, will also work on mobile devices. So on a Android phone or iOS or iPad or Android tablet, you can go into the respective app store of those devices. You can download the Word, the Excel, the PowerPoint apps from the store and sign in with your Office 365 account, and then be able to access your work and be productive even on mobile devices. So let's go into Word and let's kind of take a walk through what Word looks like online when we're working. So here we are. You can see the kind of the page that I see when I first come on, right? So I've got a new blank document, but I also got some templates here if I want to start from a template. The other thing you'll see down here is just kind of recent files that I maybe have been working on in Word. And as you scroll down, you can see even more recent files that are there. You can see documents that I have maybe pinned. So these are documents that I want to always have access to. You can also see when it comes to information that we have here, other people that maybe have edited, or if I've shared these files with another person. And we talked a little bit about that in the OneDrive lesson, that the ability for you to share files, not just completed files, but also files that you are collaborating on, kind of really helps kind of raise our productivity. Here you can see files that people have shared with me. So here's different information or different files. So if I want to find Word documents that maybe someone else has shared or edited, I can find it there. But you know what? Let's start. Let's just create a new Word file here online in Office 365. Now, one of the things you'll notice when this loads is you have your kind of familiar look and feel to Word, which means you have what they call your ribbon up here at the top as soon as this loads for me. And then the other thing to note as you're working in Word online, and the same is true for Excel and PowerPoint online, is you're not going to have access to all the bells and whistles of, say, the desktop application of Word. Or if you need to do something fancy calculating or formatting in Excel, you might find yourself a little limited with the options that you have in the online version. So what Microsoft has done is tried to bring forward the most common tools that people use and bring them here into the online version. And so here you can see I've got a Word document open online. It will automatically kind of just create the name of the file, and here this is called document 25. I don't really like that, so let's click here and let's give this a different name. So this is a good one. So we'll do Office 365 Rocks. And it's just going to be saving this in my documents folder in OneDrive, and that's fine for me. So here we go. I've changed my file, and now I can start typing just like I would on the desktop application. One thing that's nice about the online version is if you look up here in this top left-hand corner, it's automatically saving as you work. Now, this may freak some of you guys out, but there is no save icon. There's a save as. I can download a copy of this, but there's no actual save icon. So as I type, I want you to look up here on the top left-hand corner where it says saved, and what you'll see is it knows when new content's added, and you'll see it say saving. And once it's done saving, it will change to the word save. So here is more content, and there it says saving, and I got to make sure I give it a little bit of time. I can't X out of it yet. There it is. Now it's saved. All right. So this is a good option for students sometimes to work where it's constantly saving the file for them. There's no um, issue with a student forgetting to hit that save button to save the work. You'll see some common buttons again along the top. So here you have some ribbon. The fonts, they're constantly adding more font options here in the online version of Office 365. You have your insert tab. We won't go through all of these. This is for you to kind of play with and take a look at. The one tool that I think is really beneficial to know that it exists in Office 365 across a lot of the applications. So you'll find this in Word, PowerPoint, Excel. You'll find this in Teams. You'll find this in OneNote. There's an immersive reader option. Which is under the View tab. Now, the immersive reader for students, you might not be able to pick up on the audio on my computer, but if I click on the immersive reader button here, what this will do is it will read this text out loud to me. And here it is. I'll hit play. Office 365 is awesome. Here is more content. And again, I don't think you have my audio. Uh, I don't think you have my audio coming through to be able to hear that. But it's a nice little feature for students. You can come in here and change your text preferences. You have grammar options, so if you want to highlight nouns, verbs, and you also have some reading preferences as well. You can also translate this into other languages, so this is helpful for some of our students that maybe English is not their primary language. They can change it into theirs and have it kind of translated for them and read aloud as well. So the immersive reader tool that's built inside of Office 365 and a lot of the Office tools is a really nice feature to have. So that is the just a quick kind of overview of just creating a Word file and working online here. There's this little share button that you can see. Again, this is really, really similar to the lesson that we did in OneDrive. You'll see a lot of exactly the same options here. So if you were able to kind of follow along the OneDrive video that we had earlier and all of the different options here, we won't go into it again. You can rewatch that video if you need to, a better description of what each of these do. But here's your ability to share files and do some collaborating. One thing that's really cool when you're collaborating is if I share this file with someone and someone opens it at the same time that I'm working on it, what I'll see is up here in the top corner next to my name and my profile, I'll see their profile appear here. Or if I shared this with 6 people, I would see 6 profiles appear up here at the top, and I would see where their cursor is, and as they're working or as they're typing, I'll see the content that will appear on their screen, on my screen, as they're working. And same for them. As I'm typing, they'll see the content appear on their screen. So it's a nice way to collaborate on a single file rather than, and I've been there before too, where you create a file, you call it version 1, you send it to someone, they edit it, they call it version 2, and so on and so forth. And then after about 7 or 8 emails, you lose track over what version file you're on, and things just can kind of get a little bit messy. So it's a good way to do some collaboration. Speaking of versions, I want to show you another really useful feature of Office 365. So I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to go into Excel because there's a file in Excel that I want to use as an example. So when you share a file with someone, you're trusting that person a lot, right? To especially if you're editing, allowing them to edit the file, that you're saying, hey, we're going to edit this together, but I don't want you to delete anything. I don't want you to kind of screw the file up, right? And that's happened in the past, and I'm going to show you some nice built-in features of Office 365 that can help put some of those maybe kind of nervousness at ease a little bit as far as sharing and allowing people to edit a file. So I'm going to go into one of my pinned files, and this is my active panel kind of master document that I'm going to open up right here. This is the file that I was using when we were working on our active panel installations to kind of track everything, right? You see all the different schools down here at the bottom. We're not going to go into it a lot, but basically I shared this file with my team in IT as we were doing this, and I was giving them the ability to edit this. Now, this is a lot of information in here, and it was a lot of work to compile all this. And so I've trusted the people who were working on this with me to not go in and, and mess anything up. But say, for example, I come in here and I notice that all the content is gone, and somebody maybe inadvertently deleted a section. And because we're working online, it's automatically saving as I work. So one of the things that's nice that's built into Office 365 and Word, PowerPoint, Excel files that you have saved in OneDrive is it will automatically do versioning for you. And what that means is every time you make an edit to this file, the only thing that you see is the new file, right? The updated file. But on the back end, what Office 365 is doing is it's saving every single tiny little edit that's made to that as a separate version. And you don't even notice it. You don't even know that it's there or that it's happening. But you can go back and see all those versions and edits and kind of make some decisions on what you want to do. So up at the top, I'm looking for version or history. And so where it says, tell me what you want to do, I'm going to click up here. And this is a good, this is in Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So if you're ever looking to do something, say you want to center text, you want to do a pivot table, and you don't know where you can find that option, you can just type it in here. So I'm going to type in history, and here you can see version history. So if I click on that, it's going to take me to the version history that you're going to see over here on the right hand side of the document. And you can see that every edit that was made to this document over time. So the last one, March 12th at 9:40 a.m. And obviously this is a document I haven't used in quite some time because the next edit was in 2017. But if you look and I scroll down, you can see how many edits we have to this document. And this all happens automatically. You can see that I started this document back in 2015 at 3:33 p.m. So let's go back up to kind of where we're at, and let's say this was a file and I shared it with someone and we were collaborating on it, and I come in the next day or a week later and it's not right? Something's wrong with the file. But I knew the last time I looked at it, it was accurate. So let's just kind of use that as an example. Let's look over here and see, okay, well, I did it here, I worked on it here, I worked on it here, also there. So it looks like this user right here was the last person besides me to edit it. So I'm going to look for, okay, what file did I do before this? Because I know that was the good one. And let's pretend that this file is all messed up. So if I scroll down, you'll be able to see the last edit that I made was right here. When I click on that file here, it will show me the file as it existed on January 29, 2016 at 8:41 a.m. And then I have an option, right? I can save this as a copy. So I can say, okay, I want to bring this down. I don't want to edit the one that we still have, but I want to bring this as a new copy and kind of decide what I want to do with it later. Or I can hit restore. And if I hit restore, what it does is it will take all of these versions and changes that happened after that and kind of just say, hey, this is the new file. This is the one we're working on. So the option's yours. My typical what I'll use is I'll hit save a copy because I would like to leave this one alone, save a copy, and then I have a new copy of a file that I would work on. So just know that if you're sharing files in Office 365, you do have options to go into what they call the version history or the history and see all of the different edits that have happened over time. So that was Excel. I'll go ahead and close that down. Come back to our Word file that was over here, or in Word, I should say. And that's the basics of the online web apps for Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. So you can create new files. Anything you create here will automatically be saved to OneDrive. Saves automatically as you work. You have the ability to share and collaborate in real time, so you'll see the edits happen if other people are working on a document. And you also have the version history, which is a nice feature to have that you can always bump back to a previous version if needed. So that wraps up the web app version of this lesson, and we will be moving on to